One, two, three. Hello, everybody. This is Nicholas Tanek with your kinky friends, and oh my God, I have a wonderful guest with me tonight. Oh my God, we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk about age play. We're gonna talk about foot worship, sissification, chastity, and of course, we're gonna talk about impact play. Like, please welcome the magnificent Mistress Cherry. Say hi.
Hi, everyone. Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me, Nicholas. I really appreciate it.
Oh, the honor is all mine. So before we begin,
yes,
and we'll get into it. Trust me. Tell us just a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Okay. So my name is Mistress Cherry. My full name is Cherry Leather Chaps, and I have been kinky my whole life. And since a teenager, took a hiatus to have like kids and that. And then about 10 years ago, I met a kinky person, as I found, cross-dresser, into sex clubs and things like that. And really wanting to get out of the retail corporate world I was in. And someone said, hey, you should be a pro dom. You're really kinky. In the meantime, we were running lunches and trans events and so on. So quite involved in the trans community. And I have other passions. I love music, love to dance, and I love to ride my horse. I have a horse, so that is me. But I love being a dom. It's not just what I do. It's who I am. I'm really kinky.
Interesting. First of all, just let me start saying that I love music. My record collection is insane. Like I've every genre, everything you can think of, I got. You know, what's your horse's name?
TJ. That's his real name, not his kink name. Yeah.
No, it's like an actual horse, or like
It's a real horse. Yeah, it's a real. Okay. Not just pony play. It's a real horse.
Okay. After we're done, remind me about TJ. We'll talk a little bit. You know. I want to talk about TJ a little bit.
Okay.
Because those initials, they mean something to me. Let's put it that way.
Okay. All right. I know. Okay. Perfect.
All right. So I always start off the interviews like this with everybody comes out as a kinky person. Either it's just with one person, sometimes it's at a party, sometimes it's just in the bedroom with one person, sometimes it's at a munch, sometimes it's at a dungeon. You know, when was the first time you just like kind of came out as a kinky person?
That's a great question. I think the first time is when my partner of 10 years came out to me early in our relationship that he was a cross-dresser, right? And accepting that, and I was really the first person he's ever been with that accepted that. Then I came out that I was really into bondage and dressing up and role-playing, and I was also into having more than one partner at one time. A whole life I've been very non-monogamous, really believing in poly. And so I could just be really open and honest with him. So we went to a sex club and things like that. But I think the first time was we met a kinky couple that lived at 24/7, Dom, Subby. And we went over to their house, and we didn't have we didn't have the dungeon here. We didn't have anything. And they dressed us up in Subby for him and Dom for me. And we went to this sex club in Toronto, near where we live. And we walked in, and we were there to watch a flogging demonstration, but we were like decked out, so everyone thought we were the flogging demonstration. So it was kind of like, hey, we like this. And it's like what you and I talked about earlier. We felt really accepted. I've always kind of felt a little out of the box, like in school and in the vanilla or Nilla world, I call it. So I really felt like I found my home, found my people. Mm-hmm. So that's really the first time. And that was a club called M4 in Toronto. And I've been going there, except now not in COVID, but I've been going there regularly for 10 years, and it's where I met my second partner, which I know we'll talk about later. But yeah, so I met lots of great kinky people, and through that, and yeah, take subs there and have fun. So that's really my first time coming out, owning it, feeling good, having fun in the back room after, right? And realizing that because when I was a teenager, I was exhibitionist is where I started, having sex at a park in daylight. So you can go to a sex club and you can have sex in front of people. And everyone's, yeah, so I'm an exhibitionist by heart. So that's where I started. And here we are.
It's funny that you said exhibition is how you worded it like that. I live with my Dom now, Miss Melissa, right. And on our very first date, I just went down on her on a park bench, while people were like running around, because it was like the people exercise and they run around, and I'm just like going down on her.
And that's awesome. Yes, I've done some pretty public things at raves as well. So,
all right. Okay, wait. Let's get to that.
Lots to talk about. Go ahead.
What is off the top of your head? It doesn't have. What is one of the best memories you have of doing something in public?
I think it was that rave. It was like really messed up. I think we were. I think there was drugs in our drink. And we didn't really know. I think we were roofed, but we didn't know it. And he's a DJ, and he's into similar music you're into, actually. And we have a building that was getting torn down in downtown Toronto, so we had an illegal rave. So it was kind of underground. This is not that long ago, 5-6 years ago. And I'm a selective switch with him. And yeah, it was just a crowd full of people, and we just started going down on each other and just kind of going down. All these kids, giving them a blowjob, and then someone tried to go tell on us, and we said it's an illegal rave. What are you going to do? Call the cops? So it was just we were very fucked up. And when we went outside, it was daylight, and it was like, oh my God, it's morning, right? And I was supposed to come back. I'm like an hour away from Toronto. I was like, oh my God, I can't get back. And it was just a whole thing. So I've done lots of kinky things, as lots of your viewers have and you have, but that's just something that came to mind. I wasn't mentioning music and everything. It's just kind of going in together. So that's probably one of the kinkiest things, doing it on a car in Ireland in front of a farmer. I don't know. I'm just me, right? So yeah, just be sexually expressive, own it. So
now so one of the I talk to a lot of dominatrixes who sissify or instead of sissification, let's say feminize men.
Okay.
Whether they are submissive, whether they act feminine, it's totally different things. Mm-hmm. Like if ever I'm put into a dress or something by my dom, I just get submissive. I don't act feminine. Right. But with some people, like they want to act and feel like a woman. Right. And there are a lot of people who have this fantasy, a lot of men who have this fantasy, and they're with somebody and they have no experience. So, like cross-dressers, especially.
Right.
So, without giving too many details about him personally, how did this come about? How did he straight out tell you? Did you find out accidentally? Did you, or anything like that? And on top of that, second part of the question is, how did you kind of open up to it and facilitate it?
Okay, so I have two partners that you probably picked up on. So the first one came out to me, we're just dating a short time. I was a little freaked out in the beginning. I hadn't been kinky for a while and was like, whoa, you're the last person I thought would be a cross-dresser. So it was a work in progress. But like a lot of people that are cross-dressers or trans, when they come out to their partner or other people, they want to just, run around all day in their girl clothes. Like the day after he told me, let's go bra shopping, right? They really want you to accept them. Second partner, I actually met when he was in cross-dresser mode. Okay, so we were a sex club. I knew same sex club. I knew of her. We had talked, right? We'll call her Annie. So I was doing a scene. I invited her across the rope, and that was great. And then we just kind of decided to play, and then he showed up in boy mode. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know you in boy mode. So I fell in love with that person as the cross-dressing mode. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So that's really, that's personal. Professional, it's totally different with cross-dressers or trans, right? But that's, so that's answering your, I think your personal question. So, and all my friends except for my one vanilla friend are trans or cross-dressers. I'm immersed in the community.
Wonderful. Okay. We got to do part 2 of the feminization show. Then you can be part of that.
Okay. I love it. It's a big part of me. I've done balls and everything. Yeah.
Now let me ask you a question. What many women are like, they're not into it, unless they're in like a dom kind of mindset or mode, right? What makes you like feminization?
I like it because I think it comes from my psychology background. I understand the psychological part of it. And I mainly have cross-dressers as clients. So I think what it is, I understand that I like the feel of the clothes, wearing a corset. I like the feel of PVC boots. I understand that they just want to be a girl, that dressing as a boy might be boring. You look very nice. I'm not saying that, but dressing as a boy is boring. They don't have a lot of choices. So, and if someone just wants to dress up in panties or a dress or a corset or a maid outfit, who cares? Yes, but I do know of marriages and relationships that have divorced because of clothing. Not even with the sexual component in it, not even saying they're bisexual or bi-curious or with the dom. I know that clothes have ended relationships. They're just clothes.
And okay, so when it comes to, and we're going on tangents here when it comes to the questions, but
that's okay. I talk like that.
Yeah, this fascinates me. This really does. It fascinates me. So when it comes to feminizing someone, like I said, there's the there's the one who just becomes submissive. There's the one who becomes like a classic, like a classic kind of maid,
right?
And then there are women who turn men into sluts.
Right. Right.
So first of all, what do you prefer personally, and what is most popular for you?
For me, I do all of that, and I honestly do not have a preference, because to me, when I dom in here, it's the people piece. So whether someone is into like the maid outfit, like I have a larger man that has 5 maid outfits and frilly dresses in my closet, right? And his chastity device. Everything has to live here. I have someone else that comes every other week and is into just dressing like a slut and will send me pictures, right? Or the other one, the classy look. My partner, the first one I met, is very classy. She used to be slutty, but she's classy, like businesswoman, the nails. So I honestly don't have a preference. Don't get me wrong, when I'm tired at the end of a session, the maid comes in handy. So it was like a 5-hour session. So go get me a drink and tidy up the room and clean up the towels. Like I think the maid, and what I like about the maid, it's such the full outfit, like the crinoline and everything. It's just top of mind as well, is he just becomes so happy. I just see that happiness there. Now the slut is fine because I love strap on. I love pegging. It's one of my top 5. So that slut just bending her over the bench, that's hot, right? You see the garters and the garters pull off, and and false boobs fly everywhere. Like that's hot to me as well. So I like it all. They come in all shapes and sizes, just like people. So
that's awesome. Okay, when it comes to garters, 4 straps, 6 straps, or 8 straps?
Depends who you're asking. Me, I find them a pain in the ass personally, but for cross dressers, I think 6. The 8's nice. The 8 is nice.
Thicker
with the metal clamps.
Oh yes. Okay. Yeah.
I like the classic garters. Now, when I have gotten dressed up for those type of scenes or play, yes, that plastic. But yeah, but doming, they always come out, so I wear stay-ups.
Thick or thin?
Thick. What's
okay.
that? Yeah.
Okay. And all right. We're gonna skip some of the. We'll get into the other questions, but you mentioned chastity. You mentioned chastity, and when it comes to I can't believe I didn't say this. You are a professional dominatrix, and you have a dungeon.
Oh yes, sorry, we missed that, didn't we? I'm a professional dominatrix, and I've been doing it. I had a practice, 2012 into 2013, and my full-time gig since 2014. Yes.
Okay, we'll get into how that, but let's just talk about chastity for a second. All right. So first of all, do you have anybody in chastity right now?
Yes, 3 of them.
You have 3 of them. Are they people in person, or are they online?
No, just if you go into chastity with me, you have to commit to 1 session a month.
Oh, okay. Now
that's part of the deal. I have the key, and because we're in COVID, they have, in case of emergency, they hold the key, I hold the key, and their key is in a sealed envelope. And if they open it and they come here for their check-in, their session, they get an extra 300 strokes.
Oh. Okay. Oh, well, we'll talk about impact play too.
It all very close to me. So so 3 people currently in chastity, and 2 others I go in and out before sessions. So 5 really.
What's the longest you had someone in chastity?
He'd be so proud. I'm telling you this. I see him tomorrow. 369 days.
Wow. Longest I've been in chastity is 2 weeks.
2 weeks. And then the average is about 3 months.
Yeah.
He will never do 369 days again, but he does very well. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No. Like I used to be terrified of it, and we'll talk about how the kink rabbit hole goes deep and how we evolve and everything like that. But yeah, I'm just glad that my dom likes to play with my cock. So
you'll be in chastity all the time, and this is different, right? And then my partner I switch with, if I'm going to top him or her, sissy boy I call, then I'll say go into your cage, or let's play with your cage on, right? The holy trainer or whatever. Yeah. So chastity, I don't know if you find this talking to other doms or other mistresses, is chastity is what's trending right now. Things trend. This is trending.
Yeah. One of my best friends is she's her name is Chastity Queen, and she's got hundreds. She did the feminization episode yesterday. She's got literally people all over the world, and she's got keys all around her neck, and she's like, they have to earn to have the key around her neck. You know what I mean?
I love that. I love that.
Okay, when it comes to chastity, plastic, silicone, or metal?
I'm a stainless steel metal girl. I like chains and leather, so I like the metal because then I can hook a leash on it better and hook it around. And if you're in for a long period of time, the dry wipes, I think it's easier to clean. The sissies like the pink holy trainers. I find a lot of the padlocks, if you've seen those, right? The lock. And I like that. I like stainless steel personally. Small, like to fit them, of course. The one that was in the the subby that was in for 369 days, he lost weight during it. So we had to like wrap a chain around his waist to keep it on. We had to adjust it. But I like stainless steel. I like the feeling. I want them, they run into something, I want them to think of me. Like, oh, Mistress Cherry. Oh, it's cold out. Oh my God, I'm getting frostbite. I don't care. Yeah, so.
Well, it also, I have a custom made one.
Yes,
but
that's ideal.
It also, it's definitely worth it, to, if you have the money spend, but it changes the way you sit sometimes, like,
It does. It does. Yeah.
And then it also changes the way you pee, so like, you have to sit down or it's gonna get everywhere,
Yeah. It's so true. So true. Yeah, so true.
I don't mean to be disgusting or anything.
No, I'll tell you a quick story. First time I had my partner, and I went to someone's house to have drinks before a rave. Maybe it was a different rave, I don't know. And he went in and he comes back and he's laughing. I go, what? He goes, I didn't know I had to sit down with a chastity. I just peed over the guy's mirror. Like, he goes, I sat. I go, I wonder what took you so long. So yeah, so it's a learning curve with chastity. Yes,
definitely.
I love it.
You run a dungeon.
I do, just me though.
Okay, so I'm always curious about dungeons, and I'm friends with many dominatrixes who run dungeons. So, what is the most popular thing about your dungeon, and what is your personal favorite? They could be both the same. Okay. Or they could be different.
So, what's that? Sorry.
Yeah. I said they could be the same or they could be different.
Oh, you're cutting out. So my favorite thing and what I like about my dungeon. Is that what you said?
Well, yeah, your favorite thing about the dungeon and also the most popular.
Okay. All right. Good question. So my dungeon that I'm in is actually in my apartment in a second bedroom. So it's more what I call it a studio, right? So it's on a 9th floor of a building in downtown Burlington, Ontario, 40 minutes away from Toronto. So I go back and forth what my favorite thing is, but I think it's the suspension swing. And I think when people get into that suspension swing, they just like, oh, relax. And I like making them my canvas so I can just do my thing. It sets up in the middle of this room, and it's great for strap-on CBT, nipple tour. It's great for everything. So that is probably my favorite. I go between that and the cross, and I have this great kneeling bench too. Anyways, I go back and forth. I just love kinky equipment. And most of it has been made by my partners for me for this studio. We worked on putting this together ourselves. So that's kind of, and the most popular, I think people will see my ads on Leo List, and I think I'm one of the few people in my area that has a suspension swing that they can go right off the ground. So I will say, new people will say, hey, let's use the swing. But everyday clients, my regulars always want the cross during the session. Always.
St. Andrew's cross, yes. Okay.
Always.
All right. Now you brought up CBT. We got to talk about CBT. What is cock and ball torture? CBT. Yes. That's what it is. We're not CBT. What is one of the most brutal things you've done?
There's so many because I am a sadist by heart. I have to look and tone myself down for any sensualist. I was thinking about this many, many, many things, but I think the most kinkiest thing was probably tying someone down on the floor, putting cuffs on myself, hanging myself from my ceiling. So hanging myself from my ceiling and lowering myself down with my stiletto heels right into their balls.
Oh, that's a good one.
Constantly. And then standing on the cock, standing on their, I love trampling and doing trampling. So that's what I like. And then I also I have to show you my favorite toy. And then my cock and ball crusher.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, I see you. So yes. So.
That's pretty good. That's a new one.
Oh, and you get me started on CBT and my humbler.
Oh yeah, the humbler.
So, anyways, CBT is like top 3 for me.
Okay, for those who don't know, the humbler is basically the thing that takes the testicles, and locks them, and then puts you put them behind. You put the thing behind the legs, right?
Right.
Right. And so they can barely walk. They
when they're down on the ground, then you can abuse the balls.
Yeah. Humbler. Writing that down. Because like I said, I take notes for the intro.
That's good.
I take notes because I like to make a good intro. So I'm definitely doing the humbler.
Okay.
All right. Oh, we got really way off of the schedule. Age play is something new.
Yeah, something I do, and it kind of just goes in with the scene. So I mainly do auntie or bitchy stepmom. So it really usually with the age play with me, it ties in with cross dressers. So the auntie finding the hands in the panty drawer, right? My scenario with stepmom is that I'm alone with this boy. What the fuck? Sorry. What the hell am I supposed to do with you? I can curse. I need you to be a girl, so I do the whole sissification through. So the age play on its own, I find a little boring. So I incorporate it in with cross dressing and force femme.
Yeah, I never thought I would be into something like that, and I you stumble on porn and stuff and then the strict stepmom who dresses the boy up or
yes.
man in women's clothing all the time and just jerks them off and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's tie the vibrator to them because things like that.
I love stuff like that. Okay, so how as a dominatrix, right? I think there's a spectrum. There's the sensual dominatrix, who's kind and but then there's the sadistic dominatrix who is just mean as can be. Where would you say you are on that? Some people are, as my friend says, Jacquelines of all trades.
Yes. So I think you need to be. So when I first started doing this, I was 100%, out of 10, I'm 13 out of 10 with being a sadist. And I realized there's a small percentage that are into that hardcore pain, marks, and consensual, non-consensual, but no safe word. That's how I am. So I am a true sadist. The harder, the better. Making them cry. That's really me. Don't know why, but I tell all of my subbies, especially my regulars, you have to remember, I still like you. It comes from a place of love, but I still like you. At the end of the day, I'm gonna right. So they're sitting there talking like you and I are, and they're like, "Are you sure you're gonna be strict?" And then they come out the washroom naked, and I just fucking go for it. Like you go from 0 to 10. So my thing is getting them into that subspace within 5 minutes. That's just kind of me. So I'm a sadist. That answer. I'm safe, but I used to be. I can't now, but I used to be into the blood sports and losing a ball and black balls and crazy stuff. And I don't know why. It's just kind of who I am. Right. So, and I find when they cry in here, it's very purging. Like it's someone crying. It's very purging as well. Like, are you crying? Yeah. So that's me. Sadist.
We were talking. We did a whole episode about sadism with Chloe Rose and Mistress. It was great, and I got paddled through it. So
See, that's awesome. So
yeah.
yes, but I can be nice. Like I do believe in warm up. I do believe in aftercare. So you have to be that in between. If someone comes and says, I just want a sensual scene. I'm also a Reiki master and trained in Tantra. So I do have that side of me as well. But if you're going to ask me what I could do every day, that would be.
Okay, well, let's get to after. We'll get to aftercare. I definitely want to talk about that.
Sure, yeah.
Let's just talk about sadism. We talked about cock and ball torture, but there's other ways to be sadistic to somebody from, just stepping on their balls.
Right. Yeah.
So, just off the top of your head, what is one of the most sadistic things you have done? And keep in mind, everybody, this is consensual. This is
yes,
not.
I wrote that. CNC, consensual, non-consensual. They've, given me permission to come in here and do what they want. But I have to be honest. With that being said, my sadistic side comes out. I don't do brats very well. So when people are bratty and acting out what they shouldn't be doing, that's kind of when I get really sadistic. So one thing I did sadistic was I had a gentleman on my carpet on all fours, getting him cuffed and ready to go on to probably the cross. And, it's very clear that there's no touching of yourself. It's very clear with the guidelines before we started. And I just turned around to get something, and I look around, and he's jerking off his cock. And that just pisses me off. So I hoofed him, and I sent him into the wall flying. So you shouldn't dom angry. So I was pissed. And he apologized. You actually talk about consensual, non-consensual, that little gray area there. But that was pretty wicked. I don't usually catch myself. I'm like, oh, fuck, that was crazy. But he went flying. It's like, oh, sorry, what? Because you're touching your cock. I told you not to. So So I warn people, if you're going to be bratty with me, that's going to really bring it out in me. Because I expect my subbies to behave. Follow the guidelines, have fun. But that's just me. Some doms like brats. I get it.
Yeah. Some brats like to be bratty for the punishment, I think.
Right. And I have that, but I find they quickly retract and become that submissive slave. But I do warn you can kind of see me and be bratty, right? And then the other, I thought of two things. And the other sadistic thing was pretty brutal, like ball busting with my knee, like facing me on the cross. And pretty brutal black ball. So he had to go to the hospital with that. So that was pretty bad.
Okay, let's talk about impact.
Consensual.
Yes, consensual. Consensual.
Consensual. It was.
So let's talk about impact play.
Okay.
There are floggers, there are whips, there are switches, there are riding crops. There are many things you can use for impact play, and they're all great. They're all wonderful.
They are.
What is your personal favorite?
Oh, it's so tough. I probably my crop. I like show and share. Probably my broken in crop. Because it's small. I'm a rider, right? As we touched on. So I buy most of my things at riding places, right? So probably the crop, and then I could flog all day long. I like the two flog. I love flogging.
I love the riding crop. Oh wait, I gotta show you something.
Oh, okay. I like this. It's show and share.
This was a gift from Luna. Look at this thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, what material is that?
Leather.
That is leather. Wow. That's gorgeous.
I know. It's great. I'm so.
That is gorgeous. I love that.
You can make it look like like a person. I go, hey, what's going on?
You can. So, yeah, I love flogging. I have lots of floggers that I like. I have a great flogger with a swivel handle, but that's probably, I like paddles too though, because you're asking about impact play, which goes right up there with sadism, right? So I like paddles as well. And I used to get paddles and floggers and crops that were huge. And then I realized I need them more to fit me. So they're like, I like backhand. So you know what I mean? They're not, I used to have a paddle as big as my head.
The thing about the riding crop, though, it just
Yes.
looks cool. It really does. It looks cool. It sounds cool.
I have many. Yeah.
It's not like crazy intimidating, but it
Right.
you know what I mean?
And it fits, and it can fit right in your boot. There you go.
That's true. All right, we got impact. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, we didn't talk about feet.
Oh yes. Oh my God. So feet. No. Yes. Foot fetish.
Yeah.
You might pick up on.
Let me ask you this: Why do you, out of all of the fetishes out there, right?
Yes.
You know, there's sissification. There's castration. There's blood play. There's all these things, impact play and stuff like that. But it seems like foot fetish is more mainstream, and it's extremely popular. Why do you think it's so mainstream and popular?
I've asked many foot fetish people this because I understand a lot of fetishes, but I don't really understand the foot fetish. And I've asked people, and what they say, it really started at a young age, where we're going back to age play, where an aunt or a mom or a stepmom would put their feet on them. And that's their first, at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, that's their first sexual awakening, was the feet on them. That's one thing. Another thing someone else told me was it's something that they can look at with women and not feel they're offending them. And they feel a foot is shaped like a woman's body. And then they also feel that a foot is very demeaning, being underfoot, right? And so, and I have to really be honest with you, Nicholas, because I may not be sounding super averse or positive. I don't enjoy foot fetish, and I no longer do it. I find it, I'll just be honest. I'm being very honest.
Yeah,
You can probably pick up on me. I'm kind of high energy, and I'm give. I really have for a long time, I have a no touch policy with me. So I'm not into oral servitude or anything. So that foot was just that borderline for me. And I just found it. And I know I've worked with doms. I've co-domed on this couch. And I've been with other doms that love foot fetish. And they just love it. But I find it boring for me. It's just not that's really honest.
It's not my thing either. I do like a nice foot with stocking and heels. You know,
yes.
Yeah, I like it, but you know,
yeah.
But I'm not like Quentin Tarantino when it comes to
right. It's just not my. Have I done it lots? Yes, and with every time we're in, and have I tried to worship someone's feet to understand it? Yes, but I always try something once. So
yeah. I'm not against it, and I'm not kink shaming.
I'm not either. And some. Yeah, and some doms just do foot fetish. Like that's their thing.
Not, yeah. So let me ask you this: you don't just wake up and say, "I'm going to be a dominatrix." So you know, there's a process and everything like that. So let me ask you this: what was your very first session like?
Oh, my very first session, like paid dominatrix? That's a great question. I was a nervous wreck, and I feel a little bad for him. So I was pretty nervous. My first 3 is like, oh, here's your money back. And they still see me. But it was pretty crazy. It was first 2 I don't really remember, but I remember my third one. So I'll share that with you. Bigger guy, on my cross. He was taking my impact play. I felt like I was getting into my groove. Does he not pass out, fall over, and break his ankle? So I'm like, it's like, oh my God. So yeah. So that was like, okay, am I going to do this? Am I not going to do this? So that was a real awakening to be safe, and chains, and your shears handy and things like that. So yeah, and he came and saw me for years till he got married. So yeah, so that's kind of my first. Now I had to practice Sebi for a year before I went professional, but I was trying to figure out am I going to be offer sex, oral servitude? So we kind of did everything to figure it out, and then I just realized I like that professional, true, old school BDSM dominatrix. So we had a fun year though. He came like every other week, and yeah, it was fun. And he did clips for sale, so he was like a paid subby. Right? So we met at a munch, we hit it off, and yeah, that was fun. That was fun. So
Wonderful. Okay, so we're gonna lighten the mood, but first we're gonna take it down.
Okay.
Okay. It seems like the world is crumbling right now. It seems
crazy.
With COVID-19, all my dominatrix friends, and anybody who's into sex work is having a hard time. I'm not asking you about like financially, but just how you personally dealing with it, with everything that's going on.
Question. Yeah, I did close down for 3 months. So when we went into lockdown, March till June 1st here, we're a little different. I don't know, we're different up here, right, with the stages and all that.
Yeah.
So then I reopened, and I kind of reopened when massage therapists opened, right? So that's kind of when I reopened. And I pretty well just see people I know that either have been in my social bubble or people that have had a COVID-19 test. I wear gloves. Masks. At the first 3 weeks is a little difficult, but I social distance domed, which was tough. So they sat there, I flogged from afar, and it was no strap on because I was, like you just said, it's like the sky was falling. So it was like, oh my God, my life is over. So life is over, all of, right? So that's really how and then I did realize when I got back into the studio and doing sessions is that I'm pretty clean to begin with. I do disinfect, even though it was a hard time finding gloves sometimes. It's a hard time finding Lysol wipes. And I only see right now 1 client a day. And that also gives them a sense of peace, right? So that you can clean the room and have all that time. So
it's also
that's
like, it's also like, oh, I'm the one for the day.
Right.
Yeah. And you can get your maid to.
That's right. I got my maid for the day. Yes. So I had like 3 sissies. Yes. And it's funny you should say that. So people tend to be, we don't know if we're going to tend to be booking like longer sessions, and it's different. So in my area, we have 10 active cases, to be honest. That's it. So I just see people that come from areas that aren't crazy. Right. So, yeah.
Well, I definitely want to come to Canada. I got some friends up there, and oh no, trust me, I got plans. I got plans, and we'll talk after.
Okay, all right. So that's how I'm handling it. I was like everyone. I really missed it. I really was depressed for the first few weeks and missed because your clients become your friends, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's the thing. It's the people piece for me is why I continue to do this and why I basically reopened, and then I got my group back, and and here we are. So that's how I cope. That's how I'm coping with it. I know a lot of DOMs aren't working at all.
Yes, that's 100% true, and a lot of people are doing stuff online. I deal with depression myself. Like I wake up, especially because I watch news and late night and stuff like that, and I'm just like, I start almost crying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yes, it's so true.
We're all gonna die.
I know the news, and I should also mention when we were in lockdown, yes, I did virtual sessions. I did, Instagram, I did WhatsApp, Zoom, I did online calls, people just calling to talk to me about life because I miss talking to someone that understands their fetishes.
And that's one of the reasons why I did the show, is because I hope, first of all, content is king. Like you need content, and
Right.
and like I watched everything on Netflix and Hulu. But
So true, right?
I just want to interview interesting people. This show keeps me sane, basically.
Right.
Okay, let's
Awesome.
let's get happier.
Okay.
Okay, the kink rabbit hole goes deep. I never thought I'd be into things that I'm into now. Okay, like for example, I never, although I love femdom and everything from a very young age, I never thought I'd own a custom-made chastity device. You know what I mean? That terrified me when I was younger. You know what I mean? And now it's like,
Where is it?
so, I can show it to you. You want to see it?
Sure. I'll see it. I like that one. I like that one. The man I like that. I like the bars going that way. And the man that was in it for 369 days, that's his. Okay. I like that. Can you put the urethra? Is there a urethra at the end? Can you put the urethra?
No.
Can you do sounding with it? You know what I mean? I love sounding.
I guess. Oh, we got to talk sounding then. All right.
Let's see. Let me see. You could. Okay.
I mean, you could, but you gotta. You'd probably.
You know what I mean. You've seen them.
Okay. Let's talk sounding. Sounding is basically sticking something in the urethra.
Yeah.
Like oh God.
I'll show you.
No.
I happen to be sitting by my dom desk, so different sizes. I do the rosebuds, so you can do small, or you can do bigger. I don't do the rods, so yeah. Okay.
Do you ever do the curved ones?
No, I haven't done. I don't have a lot. I love sounding. I quite enjoy it. I find it goes in there with CBT, and it incorporates great with prostate play and massage. So apparently that's the best orgasm men can have apparently. So I'm told. So no, I don't have. I know what you mean. The rods. No. They drop it better.
Okay, for someone who wants to experience sound being like sounding, or for a woman who wants to sound a male, how do you keep it safe?
That's a great question. So shower. Consensual. The main thing is just really cleaning that area and finding a really good lube. I do a water-based clear lube with sounding, right? That's what I find. I sterilize them before, wrapped in paper towel, and I disinfect the urethra, the whole head of the cock. And the main thing with sounding, it's like doing strap-on. It's a muscle. It stretches. The urethra will stretch, and start with the smallest sound you can find. And if all you can do is the small sound always, but it's just like everything in doming, it's like 100% mental. They have to be ready. If you think, my partner and I have done everything, but sounding is off the table. There's no way I can run after him with the sound. He's like, oh my God, get away from me. So that's the thing. So you really have to be, you have to really be ready. I do it in my swing, sitting down, and there's because sometimes it's so small. I've had some urethra that's so small, I'm like, you're too small. I'm not doing it. So, because it can bleed a little bit too, right? When you're going in. and just like grab someone that hasn't done it before. Google, watch YouTube, but let it go. Let gravity take it with lots of lube. Don't shove it in there. Just let it go. And then once it hits, and then let's let it go. And the most coolest thing, you put your gloved hand in the ass pussy, I call it. You feel the prostate, and you can feel the sound. That's the coolest thing. And that apparently feels so great.
Wow.
So they say men like sounding because they feel it's what a woman must feel like when she's getting fucked. That they feel like that woman. So it really incorporates well with sissy play, or sounding incorporate in any session, right?
Okay, great.
It's out there. I think it's out there.
Okay, so we have a segment here called BDSM on a budget. Now, I highly recommend if people have the money, spend it on quality people and products and you know stuff like that. But you could be kinky and you don't have to buy products, or you could use other stuff and things like that. So for people, especially with this economy right now going on, with everything going on, do you have any suggestions for anybody who wants to be kinky but just they can't spend a lot of money, or they don't want to spend any money?
Right. Well, go to your kitchen drawer. That's the first place to go. Go into your kitchen utensils drawer, wooden spoons, spatulas, anything like that. The dollar store as well, right? Clothespins, right? I said the clothespin game is awesome, right? And some strings, the rope, right? Knocking off clothespins with your crop is awesome. So yeah, a dollar store, it is clothespin game. Did 25 the other day off someone's body. So yeah, so I think the dollar store, or just get creative, right? If you don't want to go get rope, you can use nylons. You can use rip up bed sheets, right? Absolutely. I don't invest any more money in this studio. Anybody needs, go to the dollar store. I have bath brushes, things like that. Anything like that that's going to cause some impact or play. And if it's a couple that's looking to be kinky on a budget, go do it together, right? Do you have a Kinky Depot thing? Like, go and do it together. Go do research together. That's what I think.
You could actually make it like a game. You know what
I
I mean?
Right. Yeah.
It could be romantic.
Card game. Like I do with someone he brings cards. And we throw down the cards, and I pick up one. So if I pick up, say, a 10, he gets 10 slaps. And then we have dice. We throw dice, right? So if it's 6, it's not 6. It's 60. So we do that. The dice game or the card game, or we make it into an interrogation scene. He tells me, he looks at the cards, and I have to beat it out of him what they are. So it can be spanking. Your hand's the cheapest thing, right?
Yeah.
Nothing like over the knee spanking and skin to skin, right?
That's good. Okay. Rapid fire recommendations, and they don't have to be kink related. Okay. They can be, but they don't have to be.
Okay. All right.
See, I love creativity, and I love art, and
Okay.
So this is all going to be stuff like that.
Okay.
Recommend a film.
Oh, recommend a film. Oh, I just watched it. Zodiac.
Oh, that's good. That's a good one.
Yeah. 2007, but a good watch.
Robert Downey's good now. I gotta revisit that. That was
a lot of people are I like it.
Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal, Robert Downey, Tom Bagne's in it. Yeah.
Mark Ruffalo. Yeah.
Mark Ruffalo. Yeah. I've actually talked to Chloe Stepney, hung out with her. Yeah, she used to work at Liquid Sky in New York.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Recommend a song.
It might be silly, but it's "Every Breath You Take" by Police. It's my favorite song of all time. It's my first album, my own. Synchronicity. Yeah.
The first one or the synth?
Doesn't matter. It honestly doesn't matter to me. I'm a pop. I've done the raver scene, the alternative, but I'm really a pop girl. I'm a pop, hard rock type of person. Anything Queen.
Queen. No, Queen. What did you think of Bohemian Rhapsody?
Loved it.
Yeah. No, he did. The guy did a good job.
Yeah.
The
And you're talking about films. The Show Must Go On with Adam Lambert doing Queen. Very good. Surprisingly, really good. Yeah.
Okay. Recommend a book.
I'm reading The Power of Now right now by Eckhart Tolle. Changing my life during this time. So just being in the here and now.
I've heard about that. Okay.
Highly recommend it. It's like he wrote it for COVID.
Recommend a meal.
A meal. I'm a vegan, so anything vegan. Meal. Oh, geez, I cook all the time. I'm going to pick my favorite dessert right now. Strawberry rhubarb crisp. It can be a meal. It can be breakfast, lunch, dinner. There you go. Vegan. And gluten-free.
I like me some tofu. Yeah.
Yes.
Seriously, some teriyaki tofu.
Yeah, something like that.
Some curry tofu. Oh my god.
Yeah. I just like food, like and just anything fun. Fun and yeah.
Are you into splashing?
Yes. I haven't done it a whole lot because it's a very specific desire, but I really do. I've done it personally and professionally. Probably my hottest splashing scene was splashing him on this plastic, and I got all splashy, and then doing a slip and slide strap-on scene with it. That was all. Yeah. I see all ages, but he was like, I see people 25, 30 plus. I don't see young. So yeah, it was a kind of a bucket list thing for him. It was all. I was just talking about splashing the other day. So I do like it. Do you do it?
I'm definitely putting this in the splashing slip and slide.
Splashing slip and slide. It was awesome. It was a mess in here. It was and I just kept going to the fridge and getting more stuff.
And I'm always curious about, because a lot. I'm in Jersey. I'm in New Jersey, and there's a lot of vegetarian Indian food, and Indian food is very saucy. Let's put, I guess, put that right.
Okay.
It's messy, it's not like a blueberry pie or an apple pie or anything like that, but I was always wondering why aren't there more Indian foods splashing.
Yeah.
All right, we did recommend a meal. Okay, so all right, these are my notes.
Okay.
And they're done. I'm throwing them across the room.
Okay.
And I'm doing this just off the top of my head.
Okay.
This is the final part of this interview. This is what we call the word association game. And yeah. So
okay.
I'm gonna say, what was your meal again?
It was a dessert. Yes, strawberry rhubarb crisp.
Strawberry rhubarb. Okay.
Just go with it, yeah.
All right. So, if I say chastity, you could say lock. If I say chastity, and the first thing that pops in your head is strawberry rhubarb, say that. There's no wrong answer. Like,
got it.
We could be silly. Okay.
All right.
Second thing is there's no kink shaming. All right.
Right.
So if I say something that you're not into, just say, instead of making fun of it, just say not my thing. Okay.
Yeah. I like that.
The third rule is well, it's not a rule. It's just, this is off the top of my head too. So we're on the same plane. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then there's the final rule.
What's the final rule?
This is the jar.
It's the jar. What's in the jar?
Yeah. So Tangle Blue, I love you. Tangle Blue is a submissive kitten who is essential to your kinky friends, and we have a very, very absurd sense of humor. And everything I say off the top of my head is going to be kink related, but I don't know what I'm pulling out of this jar. Some of this is absolute nonsense.
Okay, but still saying the first thing comes from mind. Okay.
Yes,
And not
yes,
overthinking it.
that's rule number one. Okay, are you ready to go? You strapped in? Got your helmet on?
Go.
Pegging,
Cock.
choking,
Hands.
flogging,
Pain.
wax play,
Knife.
fire play,
Hot.
knife play,
Cutting.
the St. Andrew's Cross.
Rope.
Okay. Now, my next thing was rope. Rope.
Inescapable bondage.
Straight jackets.
Oh, medical. Medical play for me for that.
Dude, I used to make when I was going through puberty, I used to make homemade straight jackets out of raincoats and belts.
I love my straight. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, no, I got one for my birthday, like a real one.
Oh, that's awesome. Great birthday present.
I used to excuse me, when I was young, I used to make my own and just like wiggle around the room and to me like, what happened to me? You know?
I love that. I love that. They say we can trace back our kinks. We were very young. So.
I thought I broke myself, you know, or is it
It's all fun and games till you break yourself.
like what's going on in my pants? All right, smothering,
Hands.
splashing.
Eggs.
Okay. The 50s housewife dynamic.
Apron. Servant.
Okay. Sissy maids,
Bringing me wine.
corsets,
Love.
chastity,
Keys.
garter belts.
Sexy.
Oh, we did wax, fire, and knife play, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Latex.
Hot. In both ways. Both ways.
Yeah, this gets especially in the heat wave. That
It looks hot. I was gonna wear my latex top today, but it's like too hot. So.
All right. Pet play.
Puppy play.
Let's go in the jar.
Okay, let's go in the jar.
Oh, this is a nice one. Healing.
Healing. Hugs.
Wow.
Wow, you're hot.
Like I said, this gets kind of absurd. Foof.
Foof. Think of wolf. Wolf. I don't know. Foof.
Oh my god, this one's almost broken. Boing.
Pre-ejaculation.
All right. Tits.
Titties. Boobies. Love tits.
Okay. All right. Water sports, aka piss play.
Water sports?
Yeah.
What did you say?
Yes.
So you want water sports? I understand. You asking me if I do it?
No, I'm just the word association.
Oh, the word. Oh, I thought you were still playing the jar.
Yeah.
Water sports. Degradation.
Okay. And finally, this is a dumb pun, but I do it all the time. We've reached the end. Scat.
Oh, disgusting.
Yes, I'm my favorite. Oh my God, Mistress Cherry, please stay on the line after we're done,
Okay.
but take this time to um, uh, promote yourself.
Okay.
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook,
Okay.
whatever you got. Go.
Okay. So what do I got? Okay, so I'm mainly on Leo's list. I have my website, www.mistresscherry.net. I am on Instagram and also on Facebook. But basically, Leo lists daily. FetLife, of course. I'm on FetLife most days, but mainly, if you want to reach me through www.mistresscherry.net. And then when I connect with people, we set up a phone conversation. And I do see people from the States once the borders open and we're all safe and sound. And yeah, I just love meeting new people, but people can reach out anytime. If you're looking for that strict dominatrix, I'm your mistress. And I like to have fun. I think you picked up on. I like to have a lot of fun. It's who I am. It's not just what I do, but I like to have fun with it. And like I said earlier, the people piece. Take care of my subbies from start to finish and take them on a journey that they'll never forget. That's really my thing.
That's very, very important, especially with the kink community. It's not. It's, a lot of people think it's all dark, and it is sometimes, but most of the most of the cool people in the kink community are just having fun and having fun with each other and celebrating each other. So, okay, find me on yourkinkyfriends.com. There's a group on Facebook called YKF. Follow me on Twitter at Nicholas Tanek. Follow me on Instagram at Nick Tanek. And there's also at Friends Kinky on both Instagram and Twitter. We have a Patreon page, patreon.com at YKF /YKF. And oh my God, it's getting late, my friends.
It is.
My Dom is calling me. And
well, you better run.
remember the cardinal rule, everybody. Be cool, be kind, and keep an open mind. Take care.
All right.